In the previous module, we talked about Islamic or Muslim feminism, the version of feminism that was introduced in 70s and 80s in Muslim world. And now we will talk about secular feminism. We know that Muslim feminism was born out of Western or secular feminism. I explained earlier that there is nothing like feminism in Islam. But because in Islam, we don't need to protest or demand rights for women. Islam has already granted them a lot of dignity, respect, and rights. But Muslim feminists promoted largely the local, not Western political and cultural stance on women's rights. In Muslim world, feminism was introduced under the influence of secular Western feminism, but it was developed in view of particular local cultural circumstances. They presented status of women according to Islam at national and international forums. When Muslim scholars, they discussed on different forums, international conferences, and other forums. So they pointed out that we favor the demand of rights for women, but with reference to our particular cultural norms, within the bounds of our norm. Their voice was heard in the world, but it created dissatisfaction among those who were totally against religious intervention in personal affairs, the liberals, the seculars. This version of feminism, it offended such people who were against religion and local culture. They have separated themselves from Islamic feminism, Muslim feminism, and introduced themselves as secular feminists. So in Muslim world, feminism was divided into two groups, Islamic feminists and secular feminists. Secular feminists said that Islamic feminists have talked only about Muslim women, they don't talk about non-Muslim women. This was their first point of departure. And their effort has been confined only to improvement in legal matters about women's rights. And they said that Islamic feminists, they just talked about those affairs which relate with property rights, inheritance, and divorce, and other rights like that. So they didn't go beyond that. So their efforts are very limited. Number one, they are confined only to Muslim women. Number two, the seculars thought that their feminist struggle was inclusive. Now they try to show themselves as superior to Islamic feminists in that because they thought their struggle is very inclusive. We also talk about non-Muslim women and we also talk about minority rights. Okay. Their struggle would not be confined only to some legal affairs like property, inheritance, etc. They would be in favor of separation of religion. They said that our effort, our endeavor and struggle won't be confined to these very micro level issues. We will go to macro level issues. We will ask the state that they should not enforce such laws in which there is some role of religion. So our effort and endeavor is far, far extensive than Islamic feminists. The secular feminists thought that Islamic feminists have compromised with patriarchy because they talked about their own local culture, local context, customs, and Islam. So these secular feminists thought it shows that these Islamic feminists actually they are part of the party. They are siding with patriarchy, male domination. So anything where religion is involved, according to these people, there is male domination. Islamic feminists didn't go beyond religion, culture, and national policies. They remained committed to them. We conclude that historically, Muslim countries had two competing forms of feminism. One, Islamic, rights of women, but within the bounds of Islam. And the other form of feminism, secular minus religion. Everything about the rights of women, but minus religion. That was their stance. Seculars thought their struggle was real representation of women in Muslim countries.